Breaking news. It's going to be a rough day for several families as they try to make sense of a shooting that happened inside of an Elkhart grocery store late last night. 3 people died, including the gunman. Christine Carson has been following this story all morning long for us from the scene. So Christine, what can you tell us about the victims?
Well, as you can imagine right now that we know that 2 of the victims were women, the gunman a male, and as you can see, police still on the scene right now investigating what happened late last night to cause anybody to walk in this store and open fire. Now, witnesses say the gunman entered the south side, started shooting in the produce section around 10 p.m. Police believe it was a single shooter and he is dead. Police shot and killed the gunman, described as a white man in his late teens, early 20s, who lives in the area. Now, police found both a knife and a large caliber semi-automatic handgun in the store. Now, several rounds were exchanged between officers and the gunman. Police say the victims' bodies were found 10 to 12 aisles apart. As we told you, 2 women were the victims here. One an employee in her late teens, early 20s, the other customer in her 40s. Now, obviously a huge crime scene if we're talking 10 to 12 aisles apart. Now, the relationship between the 2 victims and the shooter is unknown at this time. It's even unknown if there is a relationship between them. But because this was an officer-involved shooting, the Indiana State Police has taken over the investigation. Now, Josh McCreary is with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing as good as you can be doing with a horrible situation like this. You drove up here to see what was going on. Why?
Well, my mother works here. She's been here about 12 years, and she personally knows one of the victims. She was actually just recently taken off night shift because she used to train her, and I just wanted to come up here and make sure everything was all right, see if she was able to return to work because she's scared for her life.
How do you have that conversation with your mom, not only for you to think she could have been in this store, but to know that she has a personal tie to one of the victims?
It was very emotional for me. Freaked out last night when I first seen on the news. I called her right away. I let her know, just to wait for me when I wake up in the morning. I'll give her a call and see where things are at, and I'll go check it out, make sure she can return to work safely. If not, then I'll give her a call and let her know what's going on.
We see things like this happen around the United States. It's just so unfortunate to have to follow shootings that happen, and now this is happening in your backyard. How do you respond?
Well, you kind of can't. You just got to kind of sit back and roll with the punches and see what what all rolls down to. It's scary. It is, because how do I know I'm at work doing something? Somebody's not just gonna show up, start shooting up the place, and an employee of mine or I get injured. You just never know. It's kind of shakes you a little bit. Wakes you up a lot more than what you already were.
And you mentioned your mom just horrified at this point. How do you kind of talk her down? How is she gonna move on with her day? How can she?
Well, the best way she can. She always says all she has left is her kids. Here I am, I'm one of them, and I've already talked to my boss. I've got work for an amazing guy, and he said that's fine if I need to take off work to be with family. That would be all right. But it is emotional. It is really emotional. Like I said, I was really glad she got taken off night shift when she did, because if she was here, it would be heartbreaking.
Well, prayers with your family, and I'm so sorry, that this had to happen, and for your family as they stay strong through this, because they did know the victim. But thanks for spending some time with us this morning, telling us what your thoughts are. Obviously, Tricia, just a very, very sad time here, but also we know that a lot of frustration comes with an incident like this.
It makes me feel angry. Obviously, this world, I guess, is kind of screwed up right now.
This is my neighborhood. This is where I live. I know so many people who work in there. This is devastating.
That's today's society, unfortunately. We live in that world. There's not a day that goes by, it seems like, anymore where, we're not learning of a school shooting or at a business, or, unfortunately, we hope that this would never come to our hometown, and here it is. You can't walk around in life afraid. I mean, you have to exist and you have to go about your business, but you have to know also there's bad people out there. So, it's an unfortunate situation. There aren't any words that can explain it. You never know why this happens. People are depressed. People do things that aren't rational. You can't really explain it a lot of the times.
Just a horrible situation as we continue to follow the latest this morning, Tricia. As we've been talking about all morning, that quick response by the police department certainly saved several lives in this incident that happened late last night.
And you know, that leads me to remark on the fact that there is good that comes out of immense tragedy, and the police department's quick response and just the response from the community. As we all know, when we're talking about a Martin supermarket or any area supermarket in Michiana, when people talk about it, they say, that's my Martin's, or, you know, that's my neighborhood. And that's what it is. We have so many people who work at the same business, and then they also work part-time at the Martin's. So this is going to be a community in healing, and I have a feeling that people are really going to be stepping up and helping each other in this situation, Christine.
Well, and Tricia, you know as well as I know, when anything happens in any Michiana community, especially Elkhart, we always see people rallying together, showing support. There's no doubt that that's going to happen here throughout the day. And just, again, just prayers go to those families involved in such a horrific incident.
All right, thank you for your reporting this morning. Christine Karsten reporting live from this scene, as she has been all morning long. Thank you so much.